stand up for a few minutes, and he's going to talk about how he does bag rooting because he gets these super thick roots. They're not like the little fine hair ones for bag rooting. So John, if you want to stand up here for a minute and tell them what you do.
Okay. First, started with these. I've got a bunch of them from Mernell, and they've been saran wrapped with root hormone. In a couple of weeks, they get calloused, and they're ready for the bag rooting. And the bag rooting is all from Mernell. She makes this special mix. And what I do is...
It's not a secret. I'll tell everybody.
So you take off the saran wrap and fill up your little bag. And I take these and dip them in worm tea mixture. So, and then into the hormone, root hormone, and it's got sulfur.
Yeah, I use the sulfur dust, and that's antibacterial.
Soil is just wet enough to where it kind of clumps up. And then you put your cutting in there and start in with your electrical tape and seal it at the top, and then take one loop around the bottom to hold it in place. And this saran wrap was about a week or two before it's calloused, and then this takes about 3 weeks before the roots start. I've got about 100 of them that I'm doing, that I've done, and about, I'd say 20 of them are up to this.
3 weeks when it starts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are about 8 weeks old.
John, do you
Yes.
put the sulfur on the, just the base of the plant there?
The
Where it's
sulfur
dry?
in the root mix
In the root
is
mix,
a
okay.
mix.
Oh, okay.
And I just dip it in that after they've been wetted with worm tea mixture.
Yeah. What I do is I buy the sulfur dust, and it comes in a big container. What I'll do is I'll break it down into smaller baggies and we'll sell it, because you're not going to use a big bottle like I do. It takes me over a year to use that. But I take the sulfur dust and I mix it with the root hormone. And again, it's just to help with the antibacterial, antifungal.
What's the ratio?
You know, I'm like David Mora. I do. It's about a third to 2/3. Yeah. Yeah, it's about a third of the sulfur dust to 2/3 of the rooting hormone. But what John does that I think is really, really a kind of a little push over the top, he mixes up his worm tea. Remember, it doesn't become active until you add it to water. So he mixes a little bit of worm tea, and then when he takes it out of the saran wrap, he dips it in the worm tea to wetten it, and then he does the root hormone and everything, and then he puts it in the bag. So I think that little extra worm tea is being a really positive thing here. The other thing I want to point out is that you don't want to jam these all the way down in a bag. That is one of the early, oops, I just broke this one. This is one of the things that when you take this off and it's calloused, then you want to put this in the bag like this. You want just a little bit of it up here because you want room for the roots to grow. If you jam this all the way down, then the bag's going to be up here and this is just going to cause rot. Don't want to do that. So remember, secure it here. The other thing is you want to squeeze all of the air out of the soil. So make that tight that there's not air. You don't want that loose and twisting around because you're just going to break off your roots.
I have no special heat. I just store these in my spare room in the house, and probably temperature around 70 degrees.
So the total time to callus is what, around
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Couple weeks, yeah.
Couple weeks. And then in the process that John was describing, then that goes on for, you start, how long does it take again, John?
Probably 3 or 4 weeks.
Another 3
before
or
they
4 weeks?
sprout good.
Okay, and at that point, when they're sprouted, the roots, then it's time to plant, right?
No, you want to
Not
wait.
necessarily, no.
you want to wait because you want these roots like looking like a little bag of spaghetti in here. I'm going to pass this around, but just be careful with the roots. And because you want them thick. When they first start, they're like hair. Their roots look like hair. And if they get dark, that's a bad sign. There's too much moisture in the soil. So that's another key. When you mix up this potting soil, you want it more on the dry side. And what we will do, we will actually do a hands-on. We did it last year. We will have cuttings, we'll have bags, and we'll let you bag some of your own cuttings to take home. Because that's the only way you're gonna learn, because it's a feel. I can't tell you, you don't want the soil too wet or too dry. You know, John, you know, he's worked with me a long time on that. You need it just right.